Hey everyone, welcome to episode 50 of Two Guys, Zero Planners. Honestly, I don't have anything extra on the intro there because, well, yeah, I honestly forgot what I was going to say there, and we're keeping this one. So, how you doing, Urban?
I'm doing good. Well, by release is not as bad as it has been, but it's been a long time anyway. So, yeah.
I think probably the theme for this year, the theme for the couple episodes this year has been Yvgenii deals with burnout.
And Urban deals with kids. I don't know. Yeah. It's been a year,
right,
on my side as well. So,
adulting is fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still dealing with a little bit of fallout from now having to work back in the office. But there was a good 5 or 6 weeks after the last podcast release where I was sincerely debating no longer doing the YouTube channel or the podcast strictly because I couldn't find the time to do it enjoyably, which was, it's rough. It's definitely a rough thing. I think I found a way to compartmentalize things now. So hopefully that can be avoided, though I do have this magical diamine ink vent calendar sitting in the kitchen that was given to me by a figmented benefactor. And now I have to try to figure out how I want to go about reviewing that on the YouTube channel. And I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, you may need to lower your standards.
Well, that's the thing I'm wondering. I mean, I had this idea where I could do 5 different videos with it. I could do 4 videos where I'm reviewing 6 inks per video. Mm-hmm. And then the 5th video is literally just the final bottle. Or I could have some fun with it and roll dice to see which ink I review and just make a thing out of it and not review all 25 inks.
Judging by the last years, it's not like Diamine won't release them as full bottles later on anyway, right? So it's not necessarily that you need to review them on the day, right? So maybe you don't need to stress out about it.
Well, and that was the other thing I was debating. It's like, I can do 25 individual videos from this. I really could. I'm definitely not going to do 25 videos in 25 days. That would just be crazy.
Yeah.
And I do like sleeping, contrary to popular belief. So I don't think I'll be doing 25 separate videos in 25 days at least. I'm curious as to the pen community rule on spoilers when it comes to stuff like that.
So what I've seen is that you put spoiler in the title and then it's fine, essentially.
Okay.
But I mean, the names have been out for months already. Did I tell that story? Someone entered them in FPC some months ago. That's how I know other names. Or if you search for it, you could also all know all the names already.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was fun when I discovered that. Must have been September or something.
At least I'm not that person then, so I guess I could do that in that little intro thing I do for my videos. Just kind of do a quick spoiler warning and then go from there.
Yeah. And
then if you skip past that and then get mad that you were spoiled, well, maybe you should pay attention to my videos more. Huh? Yeah, that's what you should do. So that's thank you to the person who gave me the ink vent calendar. You provided a lot of content that I can use now, which is nice because right now I have a new vanishing point that I was going to review to show that. Oh, I just got a notification.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't have my phone on silent. I'm a horrible person.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a horrible person for sending it to you.
And no, that's fine. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. And this, people, is why you sign up at fpc.inc so you can find things. Turns out I may actually be doing a podcast with somebody who runs that website.
Yeah, who's that?
I don't know, some German guy.
How is his accent? Is it very German?
I don't know. I've tried to get him to say like stereotypical German words, but I've never succeeded in doing it. Like I've never gotten him to say Wiener Schnitzel or or Lager or Guten Tag or anything like that. He has better English than I do sometimes.
Not so sure about that, but
hey, I've edited almost as many podcasts of you and another person than I have of our own show.
True, we just recorded 49, yeah, and here we are on 50. Yeah.
Right. Well, now that I'm seeing this ink vent list here, I feel less bad about actually putting names and stuff in the titles, because I want my videos, when people go through and look at them, I want people to actually be able to search for the name of the ink. Yeah, whereas if I just do Inkvent 2022, what ink am I reviewing? That's not helping people. I'm the Inktwell. I drink ink so you don't have to.
Oh, I'm already looking forward to all the reviews coming out, and then they say day 1, day 2, and I need to find which ink it is on FBC to link the review to the correct ink.
Well, then I will do you a favor and actually use the names.
That would be easier, yeah.
I just want it to be easier for the people that are actually looking up my videos.
Yeah, I mean, you can either do them for now, and then you would have to do them daily, right? Because then people can follow along. Mm-hmm. Or you do them for the actual inks, right? And then that's a bit of a long-term video, and then you put the names in it, I would say.
Honestly, I'm thinking about just... yeah, I think logically it's better for me to just do 25 regularly spaced individual videos. Thank you, Karma. That's going to be fun in the audio. You're a good girl, but you just made a lot of noise. That was my 60-pound dog, for people wondering. But yeah, I think I'm going to do 25 individually, like, properly spaced videos. And then maybe one video where I just do like one line swab of all 25 and a dry time of all 25 and just call it like a 4 or 5 minute video for the ink vent overview and literally just talk about the shading profile and the dry times. And then go, hey, if you want to see a more in-depth video about how I truly feel about this ink, then keep an eye on the channel, yada, 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 something like that.
Yeah, sounds good. And also less stressful, I guess.
Definitely less stressful.
And that's the thing we try to reduce right now, right?
Yeah. By the way, I've got jury duty coming up in 2 weeks. That's always fun.
Huh. Yeah, that's a very American thing.
It's a very American thing that I have been trying to get out of now for an entire year, and I failed miserably, so now I actually have to do it. Mm-hmm. Trying to do 25 videos at the same time I'm also having to go 40 miles round trip to a courthouse is not really a good thing, especially with how horrible public transportation is here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. I have no public transportation from my apartment to downtown.
Yeah, neither do I, but downtown is like a 5 to 10 minute walk here. So
right.
It's not a fair comparison.
Yeah, I mean, I have two choices. I can either drive myself and try to find parking, which could cost anywhere from $10 a day to $20 a day. Or I could get an Uber, which will cost me $50 a day.
Yeah.
For a week. I'm not really looking forward to this. But yeah, so that is what I have potentially going. I do have a review that I'll be filming tomorrow for Monteverde Canyon Rust, and then I have a new Pilot Vanishing Point that I picked up for a birthday gift for myself, with a broad nib, because of course. And then what are these two colors again? Then I've also got a bottle of Platinum Classic Lavender Black that I'll be doing a review on. And I spent way too much money on a Sailor ink.
Yeah, that's how it goes with Sailor inks, I guess. But those platinum inks aren't cheap either, are they?
I mean, the platinum inks are at least $20 for how much? 60 mil? Yeah, 60 mil. This 20 mil bottle of Yamadori. 20 mils of Yamadori. How much did I pay? Yamadori. How much is it? Probably helps if I actually search for the ink. $20. $20 for a 20 ml bottle. Okay.
Yes.
$20 for a 60 ml bottle of platinum ink. $20 for a 20 ml bottle of Sailor ink. To be fair, oh my goodness, Yamadori looks beautiful coming out of a broad nib in a Pilot Vanishing Point. I will just say that now.
Yeah. Yeah, what I'm looking at here right now is more or less at the diamine inks, which are even cheaper, right? So, no, say or even the Conklin stuff, right? But yeah,
I have a strange feeling if I actually like the dry time performance, then Yamadori may be okay, but I don't know. I have a strange feeling just based off of how deep of a color that ink is on the page, that it's probably going to have a hard time drying in under 30 seconds. So I'm preparing myself to be pleasantly disappointed in a $20 bottle of ink. But I figured, hey, it seems to be a community favorite, so I'll give it a try, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, question. Since you watched the last two videos over Dark Energy and Andromeda, did you notice anything about the picture quality of the video itself?
No.
Okay.
Compared to other reviewers, it have better image quality anyway. So I don't know.
Okay. I bought a new camera. It films in 8K. The last two were filmed in 8K and then downsized to 4K.
I mean, it sounds like work for your computer.
Yeah. But I'm adding an extra 2Ks because my Panasonic's film in 6K. Now I'm filming in 8K.
Yeah. So instead of throwing away 2, you're throwing away 4?
I mean, I don't want to look at it that way. That marginalizes marginalizes the camera. But yeah. So I've been getting used to a new camera and currently working on probably selling the Panasonics and switching over to Fuji full time. There's just something about the way Fuji does color that I have to do a lot less work on the back end to get the color accuracy that I like. And I mean, come on, I get to say I'm filming in 8K now. Literally, if I wanted to, because YouTube actually supports 8K. If I wanted to, I could film in 8K on an 8K timeline, and you could watch Inkwell videos in 8K.
Okay, yeah. So how big would a video be then, roughly? I don't know, for 10 minutes or something?
In like actual YouTube compression or raw video off the camera?
I don't know. Whatever you would upload to YouTube, let's say that.
Well, okay. So for a 4K video, Colorverse Dark Energy, that is 7.5 minutes. And the uncompressed version that I send out of DaVinci is 32.5 gigabytes. I then send it through Adobe Media Encoder and put that in a more YouTube-friendly format, and that's only 5.6 gigabytes. So double, maybe triple that.
I guess the bigger the hard drives, the higher the resolution.
Yeah.
You can fit them in.
I mean, I have a 5 gigabit internet connection, so I'm also pretty close to one of the YouTube servers. So it doesn't take long for me to upload my videos to them. It's just a matter of how long it would take them to process it on the back end. Which I should probably work on. Workflow things. I should probably do that at some point. But yeah, Fuji X-H2, for people that are wondering. It's a good camera, 40 megapixel on an APS-C. That is like amazing how much resolution they are able to get into a crop sensor like that. Yeah. And last topic I'm going to say really quick before we actually talk about some of your stuff, because your stuff looks more exciting. And I do a lot of talking on this podcast. And I think back in September, I threatened and said, you're going to do more talking this time.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, I bought a planner.
Ooh.
For 2023.
For January 2023.
Yes, I bought one of those. Just because I'm curious on how good or bad their regalia paper will be.
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and bought an Endless Regalia daily planner direct from their website. So,
yeah, what I've heard is that it's supposedly similar-ish to Cosmo Air paper in the sense that it's not drying fast and sort of spreads out, but looks nice, I guess.
Well, I went ahead and got one of those, and there's just something about their Tomoe River explorers, not explorers, recorders, that I just really like. I'm nearing the end of the Masubi TR notebook for ink reviews, so I went ahead and picked up a recorder with TR to continue that. I could switch over to Cosmo, or their regalia paper.
Yeah. Isn't Cosmo Air being discontinued? So maybe not switch to that.
And that's also kind of why I went with the TR paper instead of the regalia paper. Because from what I'm hearing, new TR is not that different from old TR.
Yeah.
There's some difference, but not that much. So I'd rather keep the consistency of doing some of the ink testing on Rhodia and some of the ink testing on TR. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and this endless stuff, I also like those notebooks. Yeah, I've used a few.
I do all of my personal journaling in one of those. It's going to be interesting how well their planner works out and whether or not I use it. The 2021 planner made it 2 months before it magically appeared in the trash can.
Yeah, those dated planners, they never work for me. It's just, I don't know, I have a calendar and then the rest is more or less either journaling and then the length depends on the day, or work and it's more to-do lists. And I don't know, it seems a bit of a waste to have a daily planner for me.
That's kind of how I felt back in 2021. I'm hoping that I can maybe, I mean, it's a fool's errand. Let's just call it what it is. I'm hoping I can guilt trip myself into forming better habits by using a planner. Jury is still out on whether or not that's actually going to happen. I think we know. I think we know from previous experience how this goes. I fail miserably.
Yeah, on the other hand, maybe you have a better chance than I have, right? Because by now, calendar is basically a family calendar, right? So we just have to use something digital because everyone puts in their stuff.
I think the big thing is going to be taking the time to go through and plan out when I have time to just waste my life away on Destiny 2 and when I actually need to be productive, like editing a podcast or podcasts, plural, or filming a YouTube video.
Or 25.
Or 25. The other thing I'm not doing, I haven't scripted the last 2 videos. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. How did they come off to you?
I didn't notice much. I mean, were they faster to make then? Sort of a question, I guess.
Kind of. I mean, filming only took half an hour to 40 minutes per video. The only part of the video that took a while was hating the way I sounded. Because if I don't EQ things, if I don't modify things, I sound like I have a really bad resonant frequency at around 600 hertz, which makes it sound like partially throaty, partially nasally, but just 100% annoying. And I was having a hard time figuring out that was my problem frequency. And that's what took so long in the last 2 videos to get those done. Also, I had to figure out ways to edit my videos. Like, let's say I'm talking about an ink and I'm like, when we look at the dry time, it's not bad, but I feel like it's missing something there. You know, just that phrase, that set of phrases. Those gaps are too distracting in a video. So I have to find a way to edit around those. Now, when I'm doing the water sample, it's really easy to do. I just chop up the audio and move it around to fit. And as long as what I'm saying matches what I'm pointing at with the back end of a Kaweco, then it looks fine. When I'm actually holding the bottle and doing those hand motions, though, or when I'm describing the shade of an ink, like when I'm doing the pink, plink, purple thing on Andromeda, there was a long pause between each of those colors that I said. There was like a 3 or 4 second pause between each color as I was formulating the color. And that's why I did that quick edit where it shrinks and rotates as I figure out what I'm going to call it. I was like, how am I going to edit this together to where it looks natural? And that was the only thing I could come up with. So that is a challenge. But other than that, I think it saves about 2 hours per video, not scripting them.
Yeah, I guess that's a win then.
And it also keeps me from bashing my head against my desk trying to write a script for something and keeps me from getting burnt out, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't notice, if they didn't seem too disjointed to you, you've been one of my more outspoken critics when I've done something stupid on a video. So if you didn't notice anything bad about them, then yeah, I can keep going the way I'm going because that worked. Yay.
Good.
Okay. So, I have rum that I have not been drinking at all. I have an energy drink that I've taken 2 sips of. And you, sir, have a lot of topics.
Yes, and I have finished my coffee already. So.
Oh, good. Your turn.
So, my turn. So, I thought I didn't have much to talk about because I didn't do that much in the last months. So, but apparently I have, I don't know, I've spread it all out a bit. What did I do? So on the Fountain Pen Companion front, not much has happened. I need to find time and willingness, I guess, to spend a bit more time on it at some point to build new features. But right now it's more or less in maintenance mode for me. But it seems to be working. There's around 267,000 inks that people have added, which is pretty cool. And there's still a lot of daily activity. Like, I don't know, every day people, add a few hundred new inks and, maybe 50 or 2 or 100 pens and stuff like that. So it's kind of amazing to see how it's not stopping in a way.
Question.
Yeah.
You started this back when BYOB was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think 5 years, like, was your 5-year plan at that point? Because I'm assuming as a programmer, you do make like 2, 3, or 5-year plans.
No, as a programmer, you make plans for the next 2 weeks, and anything further out it's futile to plan.
Okay,
that's what you do as a programmer, because it's gonna change. Some project manager is gonna change his mind, and what you thought you would build in 2 months is not what you're gonna do anyway.
So I mean, to pardon the language here, you didn't see any of this shit coming.
No, I was super surprised. I mean, in the beginning, that thing was like, hey, this is more or less like a Google spreadsheet. It's just you have a list of inks for you, and you can decide which of those entries are public and which ones are private. That's how it started. And everyone was super excited about that already, right?
Right.
And then it sort of grew. And then now it's like, I don't know, more than 3,500 users. And I don't know. It's amazing. I mean, I think the key here is that I was already part of the Pen Addict Slack community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't something I built randomly, but I built it out of a need of a community too. I mean, in the beginning, it was about facilitating ink sample swaps, right?
Right.
Because otherwise, you basically list all your inks and the other person lists all their inks, I don't know, somewhere. And then you have to come together, and that sort of simplified that. And then, I don't know, steadily it grew. And now it's... Oh, and the other thing is something I think I did this year is actually linking out to reviews for the inks. And now it's like about 12,000 reviews of YouTube videos and blog posts and everything that's also linked there. So that's also pretty cool.
Honestly, of all the features that FPC offers, that one I think is the most important. One thing I like to bring up every now and then in my videos is, well, especially if it's an ink like any ink that has a red primary for either the primary or the undertone, I always like to point out, hey, go take a look at a couple other reviews, because red and especially cyan are two colors where every camera does it different. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do these days as well. If I look, by now there's enough coverage that I can basically look at, I don't know, search for the ink on FPC, and then hopefully there's already a review somewhere that I can look at. So that is true. That's a fairly useful feature. I mean, it started out as, hey, here everyone has their list of inks, and now I've started to take advantage of basically all the data and sort of pull it together and produce something useful out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, useful is definitely the understatement here. It's a good repository of everything that's on offer, and I'm just sitting here going, okay, I vaguely remember talking about this on BYOB, and I vaguely recall back then our minds were completely blown that you had put this together, and every time you talk about the sheer amount of data that is now part of the website, it's like, damn, dude, overachieving much?
Yeah, I mean, this is just, I mean, half of it is probably luck, like I said, you find the correct community, and then these days with everyone in the world, there's enough people for stuff like, for these micro things to make sense, right?
Right.
And I just happened to be there at the right time. No one had built it yet, so I did it, right? So I guess that's my thing now. I don't think I could reproduce it in any other hobby or any other field, I guess.
I think you're probably right. I do think you are probably right.
Or maybe I could, but it seems like it isn't enough work to have one project like that. So I'm not trying.
So since you've been doing it now for half a decade, if you could go back to the beginning, what is one thing that you wish you could have done better at the onset? And what's one thing that you wish you could scrap, but you can't because it has become something that is being used by too many people?
So for the second one, that's easy in a sense because it's not a paid service. I mean, yes, there's Patreon support, but I don't think that's equivalent to someone, I don't know, paying me for the service directly. So I'm not sure I have anything that I can't discontinue if I wanted to, because it's still a hobby. And if someone doesn't like it, they can go somewhere else. I'm not sure there's anywhere else, actually. So, I mean, there's a lot of people these days, or not a lot, but there are always feature requests coming in, and I say, yes, great idea, I will put it on the list, but I can't say when I will get to it, right?
Right.
If I wanted to do something. So no, I don't think I have any. I think I have been very careful with what I built anyway, because it's just me, right? And I have to keep the manual effort at a very a low limit, I guess. So I do spend maybe 10 minutes a day on the thing to sort of classify stuff and approve reviews and stuff like that. So, and I think that that's what I optimized for in a way to make that easy. If I wanted to change something, yeah, maybe one feature that I haven't had the time yet to add. So there's a lot of feature requests in the sense of, hey, can't you add a field for, I don't know, if the ink color, right? To say, hey, that's a green or a blue or whatever, or if it's a sheening ink or it has shimmer or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if I could. So my idea was that eventually I add something like tags, where basically you use something like that and say, hey, you tag your ink with green and shimmer and super sheener, and then it will work that way. So that's maybe a feature that I could have added earlier to sort of avoid all that.
That way someone could literally, if they're in the mood for a green shimmering ink, they could literally just look for those two tags and get a quick list of what inks there are.
Yeah, something like that, or filter their collection down to that. But yeah, I guess that's something that would come eventually as a sort of more, and then you sort of spread it, right? And say, hey, I'm marking, I don't know, this ink as this color or with these tags, and then that sort of propagates to everyone just like the ink color does. So that is maybe a good feature.
So what I'm hearing is essentially, if you could go back 5 years ago, maybe try to future-proof a few of the extras that aren't really core to making it work, but overall you're actually pretty happy with how it's gone?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. I really started out with the bare minimum, right? It wasn't more than just hey, here's a list. Here's a table of your inks on the web.
You improved on the bare minimum, good sir. You improved on the bare minimum.
I did, but I do remember that people were actually super happy with even that. And that surprised me a bit.
Yeah. I need to log in again so my account doesn't get scrubbed.
Yeah, that's one feature I think I deleted.
Oh, good.
People were mad when I deleted their account if they didn't log in for a year or something. I think I've now removed that feature.
Oh, good.
Or maybe it's 2 years. I don't remember. But it's also would be a bad idea, right? Because then their inks would go away, and this is sort of now what the whole thing is built on, right? So I would delete my own data, which sounded like a bad idea anyway.
Yeah, don't go deleting. Don't go deleting things. No, don't. So enough website talk. How to pronounce ink?
Yeah, we were talking about you trying to make someone speak German.
Yeah.
I guess now it's time. So there's this stationery store in Cologne called Ortloff.
Okay.
And they I think 2 years ago or something, they produced this Ortloff's Kölsche Tinte. So this was a red super sheener made by Diamine. And then I think this year they produced their second Diamine exclusive ink called Ortloff's Kölsches Brückengrün. So bridge green. Apparently in Cologne, all the bridges have a certain hue, even though I didn't know. Cologne is far away from where I am, which is shimmer ink with a lot of silver shimmer. And the problem with that store is they only ship within Germany. So I back in the day when the first ink came out, I already did a group buy for some people in the US, and this time I did it again, and it was amazing, right? So in the end, it was 15 bottles of the shimmer ink and 11 bottles of the other ink. So I received a huge box of inks. They bought one of the bottles for me as a sort of my payment, essentially. And then sort of I checked if everything was fine. I repackaged it all in the original box. And then I sent it off to the US. And apart from some water damage to the boxes, it arrived all fine and nothing was broken, which was everyone's worry, I guess.
Man, I wish I had been paying attention when you were doing this, because could you imagine how much fun it would be for me to try to actually pronounce this in a video?
Yeah. But I would say the most amazing thing was that wasn't cheap, right?
Right.
That was like, I don't know, 250 euros in total. And so this was organized via the Panatic Slack. And whoever the person organizing it just sort of gave me the money to buy the inks.
That works.
And it's kind of a lot of trust, right? To just send someone on the other side of the world 250 euros and hope that they will not, I don't know, disappear.
I think you've built up a good enough. I think you've built up some good credit there.
I guess I did, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, knowing where you live to Cologne, that's not that far.
I mean, for Germany, it is the other side of Germany. It's kind of far. But for US, it's like neighborhood, I guess.
I mean, let me see really quick. That's.
I mean, I think it's still 6-7 hours by car or something.
It's 6.5 hours because of construction currently, according to Google. But I mean, it's less than 370 miles. So, okay, if we go zoom out here, let's go Oklahoma City to, let's go Kansas City. Yeah, Oklahoma City to Kansas City is the exact same length. I back in my younger days, there were occasions where I would literally hop in my car at 8 o'clock in the morning, drive to Kansas City to go buy music equipment that they only had at a store over there, and I needed the very next day, and then drive back home. For the fun of it, I drive 14 hours across 3 different states to go see my mother. Actually, they just moved, so how far is that drive going to be now? Oh, only 920 miles.
Only? Huh.
Yeah, only 920 miles. That's actually not that bad. It's only a 13-hour drive. I think it's funny, the cultural differences when it comes to perception of distance. I really think that's funny.
Yeah, it definitely is different. That's true. Yeah.
And you see it even within the U.S. itself. If you talk to someone who's lived on the East Coast their entire life, and you listen to them talk about distances to somebody who's lived in the central part of the country or the West Coast for their entire life, the person on the East Coast is like, yeah, I had to drive from Baltimore down to Washington, and it took forever. It's like, how long was forever? A couple hours. Okay, fine. I had to drive from LA to San Francisco to go visit my family. We do that every weekend. So what are you talking about? That's a long distance. I wish I had known that was going on for the group by going back to the inks, because, dude, I kind of like, man.
I mean, worst case, I will have to send you some samples, right? I mean,
yeah, and then we'll have to decide which of my pens is going to be forever clogged by the ink.
I don't know. Just put in another ink 2-3 times, and then the shimmer will be all out.
I mean, if it's the bridge green ink that I'm not going to pronounce because not going to happen, that one looks like it could clog a pen.
Yeah, it's definitely. I haven't tried it out yet. But if you shake the bottle and compare it with other diamond shimmer inks, there really is more shimmer in it. I think they really went hardcore on that front.
It's just a little overkill. So, man, wait. Why do I see 2 Jinhaos on your list? I thought you swore off cheap Chinese pens.
I did swear off cheap Chinese pens, kinda. But then this new Jinhao X159 actually has a number 8-ish nib, right? So
really,
yes, and it's a plastic pen and not this crappy metal piece of solid piece of metal pen like the original 159, right? So that's why I bought my first one, because I was interested. I'd never used a nib of that size before. Oh no, that's not true. My custom pen has this Magna Carta number 8 nib. Whoops.
I was about to
anyway. I mean, they look totally different. Anyway, yeah, and it's a nice pen. And then recently they released the pen also in green, so I had to get the green one as well. That's still on the way, but yeah, it's a nice.
I'm looking at Amazon right now, and I could get, wow, it's only like $13-14 depending on which one I get.
Yeah, and it's also not this weird Chinese cartridge format. It's normal, standard, international, so you can put in basically any converter or cartridge you want to.
And it comes with a converter, I'm assuming, right?
And it comes with a pretty nice converter, yeah.
I think my second pen I ever owned was a Jinhao.
Yeah, and it has a normal clip now, which is nice. Not this crazy shield type that the original one had. And the nib sort of is now appropriately sized for the pen, instead of this huge pen with a tiny nib like the original one. It looked really bad, I think. I'm wondering how guilty I should feel about reviewing one of these. Because isn't Jinhao's one of the we're gonna steal your design brands, right? Isn't that their MO? No, that's more like Moonman.
Oh, okay.
Jinhao isn't that bad, I would say.
They're still bad, just not as bad.
No, I think they have this one, but I mean, looking at this, it's about as bad as a Sailor pen, right?
That's the vibes I was getting.
I mean, Moonman, yes, they basically cloned the capless.
Yeah.
And they cloned the Montblanc 146, I think, almost 100%. And this snake pen, whatever it's called, and the Bohème also from Mont Blanc. So they are really copying anything they can find, it seems. So that's more sketchy. But I think those Jinhaos, I think they are different enough.
Well, I think I'm going to spend $12 on one of these X159s in the burgundy and gold-ish trim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the one I'm looking at. And it's only like $12 as I send you the picture. There we go. Come on. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, as long as I can feel less guilty about reviewing it, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can feel that it's a cheap fan, of course. Yeah, right there you have the injection molding marks, and you can feel that the mold is made of two pieces because you have this line running down the barrel and everything. But if you can get past that, it's actually a fairly good pen. It doesn't dry out. Mm-hmm. And compared to my more expensive Faber-Castell that I also bought, which basically dried out in a few minutes or hours. So, yeah, I think it's a fairly decent pen for the price.
Faber-Castell is one of those. I'll save my thoughts on them because I see you've got an FC there on the list of things to talk about.
Yeah, so maybe let's talk about that. So I did get this Faber-Castell Neo Slim, which is basically, I don't know, Faber-Castell has a lot of those skinny pens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically no section and you hold it on the barrel sort of style.
Yeah.
I think the Neo Slim has been out for a while now, but now they've had this brushed metal design and wasn't too expensive. I mean, I think around 35 euros or something.
Right.
So decent pen, but mine dried out in like, I don't know, in an hour capped. It didn't write anymore. So I sent it back to Faber-Castell, and apparently they did something or replaced it, I don't know, and sent me a rollerball for free as well as an excuse. I don't know. And then I tried it again, and it didn't improve much. And I sort of stored it away and was mad at it. And then yesterday I took it out. It's essentially because I thought, hey, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I thought, hey, why is this drying out so fast? It has sort of a hinged clip, so there's a big hole in the cap. And maybe air's coming in there. I mean, there's a plastic liner inside that should probably make it airtight. I don't know.
I mean, if it's making contact, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And then in the evening, I was sitting down and sort of tried to put in glue at that spot. It looks a bit bad now, but it seems to have helped a bit. So I don't know. Now it's ugly, but maybe it's actually not drying out. So
it's ugly, but it works.
Yeah, maybe. I will have to wait until tomorrow morning and try it again to see if it's really not dried out. I don't know. So yeah, not necessarily a pen I would recommend.
Okay.
I mean, you should probably get the, I don't know, Lamy equivalent, so the CP1 or the Kaweco, I don't know, what's it called? Special or something. Right. Any of those are probably better than this one. Or maybe I just had a dud twice. I don't know. But Faber-Castell seems to have a reputation for caps that are not airtight, right?
I mean, if that is a reputation that they have. Yeah. To be fair, the only Faber-Castell I still actually own is the classic, the one that's made with the wood body and the ungodly heavy metal cap that you can actually use as a pen stand. I have that. So, I'm trying to think. Did I have... Yes, I have used another Faber-Castell. It's in the trash can. I got mad at it. The nib didn't survive.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, quick side tangent here. I need to know yes or no. Should I or should I not?
1 second. Yes.
I should.
Yeah.
Yeah. The design is just too cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Proceed to check out. I saw those while I was grabbing the pen, and I was like, oh, but the design, I've got too many keycaps, but keycaps. Yeah. I have a new addiction, by the way. Keyboards.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be en vogue these days. Yeah.
Yeah. in September alone, I probably spent $500 on mechanical keyboards. I have a problem, okay? And I'm getting away from cherry browns for the first time in my life. I'm actually using cherry reds. But I hear I should be switching from cherry reds to some other type of key switch.
Yeah, I'm pretty safe in that respect because my wrists won't play well with those types of keyboards. I really need a really flat one. So essentially the Apple standard ones are perfect for me.
Doing a quick typing
and
test.
No, I don't want to hear that there's other stuff available.
Why not?
I don't know. I have a family in the house.
I mean, come on. You can dive down the rabbit hole of keyboards and go bankrupt. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, that's how that works. Same as with pens.
This is like the biggest difference for me is going from a tactile switch to a linear switch. But that's a topic for another day. I want like another month or two under my belt with this keyboard before I say anything about tactile versus linear. Don't get me started on the Apple keyboard. I think it's trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good enough.
For what it does, it is good enough. Whatever that butterfly keyboard was that they tried for a bit was atrocious, but they learned from that mistake, kind of. So let's do this. Let's save everything else that we haven't talked about for the next episode, because there will be a next episode.
Yeah.
And for the people still listening, thank you for making it to the end of the episode and my aimless meandering that I tend to do. You guys are awesome. Yes. And this will be out at some point. If you're hearing this, it's already out. So, haha. Yes. I think what I'm going to do is finish this energy drink, then go take my fur creatures for a thing, and then probably edit some podcasts the rest of the day. And it sounds like you, sir, are getting ready to spend the rest of your evening with family and probably pass out.
Yeah, maybe not pass out, but let's see.
All right, well, take it easy, man. I will catch you in the next one, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.